Linda, so just exactly how does an organization like the JMPD go about preparing for a national election?
Well, Michelle, you would understand that there is intelligence just before the elections, particularly focusing on the fact that there are people that had, in fact, alluded to protests during the elections. So it's one of the things they'll be monitoring, I understand, whereby there will be hotspots like to check on those hotspots where there will be protests expected to flare up. But we are yet to actually receive a proper detail of what that plan is. But we are expecting that by the end of this briefing, they will give us a sense of how many people, how many of their officers will be deployed and where, and also just to get a sense of what does that mean in terms of the deployment. Will these officers be stationed particularly at those stations for the duration of the voting, or will they be patrolling around the areas and all of that? But we also would want to actually put the question to them in terms of the protests that might flare up. As to what exactly will they be doing to ensure that voting continues for those who want to vote, and that those who want to demonstrate or have some industrial action might also be afforded the opportunity to do so as it is within their rights. But in terms of the illegal gatherings that they might have, we also would put it to them in terms of what exactly is the plan or the strategy to deal with all of these protests that are seemingly planned at this point in time. But the chief of JMPD, Chief David Tembe, we expect him to come and give us a sense of what exactly they will be doing in terms of preparation for all of these scenarios, for all of these situations that we've mentioned.
All right, so that briefing is yet to begin. I mean, Linda, some 20-odd thousand voting stations. This is no small feat.
It's not a small feat indeed, Michelle, and you can understand that one of the things that's been a recurring message from the Johannesburg Metro Police was that they are understaffed, and when it's all hands on deck like that, it is a big operation. But we want to understand exactly how they will be dealing with that stretch of resources, and also just minding traffic, because that's another issue. What will they be doing about traffic? Will they be focusing on elections only on that particular day? And if so, what then happens to traffic, all the traffic activities that they carry out on a normal basis? But we want to understand that from the chief, and we're expecting him to speak to us. In fact, right about now, we're expecting him to come and address us at around 11:30, but it seems that a few minutes late. But we are expecting him to give us all of the plans that they've put in place to ensure that these are smooth elections, but also what they'll be doing in terms of them being stretched to resources as the elections. I mean, you mentioned that 20 stations, I should put it in that way, not having the correct figures, but there are many stations, and we are expected to understand exactly. It seems that the chief has walked in right now, Michelle, but we'll just have to leave it there for now.
Thanks very much for that JMPD briefing, as you can see, getting underway. My colleague Linda Kuhle will keep us up to date on that story as it continues to unfold.